Well, that was fun! Welcome back to this last installment of the Patinsproject YouTube presentation on addressing the barriers of a digital curriculum and e-learning. This series of presentations has focused on addressing the accessibility issues that local educational agencies need to consider when purchasing an online or digital curriculum, or when a school district sets a course for developing their own digital curriculum. We invite you to join us in an open forum discussion on the issues during the month of February. This forum discussion will occur in the Accessible Instructional Materials community on the Indiana Learning Connection website and will be moderated by Daniel McNulty, the Patins Northeast Regional Site Coordinator. So come on and join us in this important discussion and share what your school district is doing to address the breaking down of barriers of a digital curriculum and e-learning. Also, if you haven't already done so, go to the Patins YouTube channel, TeacherTube or teachindy.com, to view the first two informative presentations in this series. This week, we will bring you 3 YouTube presentations with Jeff Bond, the Patins Central Regional Site Coordinator, on some possible solutions to consider for making your traditional or your digital curriculum accessible for students with disabilities. The first in this series will focus on the use of text-to-speech program called Read Out Loud Universal Access. The second presentation will be about a program that converts digital text to DAISY and a program called DAISY to EPUB for creating files that can be utilized on mobile devices. And lastly, Jeff will talk about the RFB&D Read Here software that will allow digital files to be accessible for the blind and visually impaired. By the way, all 3 of these solution programs are free to Indiana local school districts for use by struggling readers and students with print disabilities. These programs are available as a free download by your school district's appointed digital rights manager on the Indiana Center for Accessible Instructional Materials, or the ICAM website. That site is www.icam.k12.in.us. These are just a few of the many solutions available for addressing the issues. For more information on these and other solutions, please contact your Patins Regional Site Coordinator. You can find the contact information for these great support resources, as well as information on other Patins offered technical assistance and training opportunities on the Patinsproject website at www.patinsproject.com. So now let's join Jeff and learn more about these programs that may provide just the solution your district will want to consider implementing to ensure its traditional or its digital curriculum is accessible for all students, including students with disabilities.
Hello, I'm Jeff Bond, and I am the Patins Central Regional Site Coordinator. I'd like to share with you a few of the ways that barriers to digital content can be addressed. Many individuals with a disability have barriers that create a challenge to access what others take for granted, and the increase in digital content is no different. As digital content becomes more popular, access remains a challenge for many. This is just a warm-up to what kind of technology is available. What I am about to share is by no means the only thing available, but merely a few tools in a vast toolbox we call assistive technology. Come, let me share one with you.
I would like to demonstrate a few ways that a software program can address barriers that may exist when accessing digital format. This particular program that I'm about to show is called Read Out Loud. It's by Don Johnston, and it's a text-to-speech program. Now, there are many other text-to-speech programs that are available, few being Read and Write Gold, Kurzweil 3000, Win, and others. And they do basically the same kinds of things. They take text and convert it into speech so that the student can actually hear the text being read. My focus in this particular example is not to train someone on Read Out Loud, but just basically to show some of the barriers that can be addressed. I'd like to point out that the standard Windows and Mac toolbar across the top offers navigation consistency that come from working with other programs. So the basic file, edit, and then some other things along the way here, and Windows and Help are usually very standard with other Windows and Mac programs. I just happen to be using a Mac for this demonstration. The Read Out Loud toolbar is a little different. It has its own unique icons that represent specific features that the program uses. And if we mouse over one of the icons, for example, the speech, it will highlight and also speak the word. And those functions can be turned on and off, but again, another little way of offering some assistance for a student that might need that type of navigation feature. I have a sample digital file that I have loaded here just to help me demonstrate some of the things that we can do with this particular program. And one of the more obvious ones is that being a text-to-speech program, it will actually read the text as well as highlight as it goes along. And here's an example of just what it sounds like.
Lesson 1. Cells in Biology. Jumpstart your learning. Before you begin reading, take a piece of paper and write cells across the top.
So, as you can see in here, we're having it read to us and we're actually having it highlighted. Now those functions can be turned on or turned off, so we can turn off the highlighting and just have it read, or we can turn off the speech and just have it highlighted. So the voice can be changed. It can be either a male or female voice. You can change the pitch of the voice. You can change the rate of the voice. You can change the volume of the voice, which could be specific for that particular student. As far as the highlighting can be changed with a different color. It can be changed with how it actually highlights, be it one word at a time, or a sentence at a time, or a paragraph at a time. So all of those things can be customized to the individual's needs and what best suits their actually reading style. Another function that is available is the navigation feature, and it's located at the top of the page here. And although our sample file is relatively small, just 8 pages, we can still navigate, at least get an idea as to how that would work by putting in page number 5 and hitting return, and it takes us automatically to that page. So a text that would be significantly larger would really be better utilized in the navigational component that we can get from a particular part of the textbook to a more specific place that might be requested either by the teacher or just finding where we left off at a particular page. And there are the other text-to-speech programs which function in a similar way. They all have their uniquenesses, and in the feel and fit of one program might be a little bit better than another. And those are one of those things that we need to experiment with whenever we try to look for ways of addressing barriers for a particular individual. This particular program allows us to grow or reduce the font size, and I'm just going to go ahead and mouse over our grow.
Grow selection.
So as I click it, it will increase the font to a rather large size, while it still continues to word wrap so that we're not losing any of the words in their location. It's just changing a little bit because of the size of the function. And then
Shrink selection.
we can reduce the selection or the font down to a more manageable size depending on what our needs are. One more feature that I'd like to demonstrate is the e-text style in this particular program, which allows us to make selections that are predetermined by the software program itself. And we'll just go ahead and click a couple of these. This is large black text on white. And as we scroll through a few more, large yellow text on black. So as you can see, we do have a variety of different selections that we can make. And I would also like to point out that this program has another feature, which is a note-taking feature, and that's off to the right here. And we can, if we didn't want to have that part of the program, we can actually go in and change that so we have our text full page. But this is a nice function to allow us to put notes specifically about our text over into our topics side, and that in itself can be utilized for a variety of different things, prompting questions and so forth for students to go back and forth to. And I really won't get into that, but it is one of those things that has been off to the side. I did want to illustrate that. So as you can see, this program addresses some of the barriers that an individual might come across. We can have the text read to us with voice output. We can have the text highlighted so we can follow along. We also have navigation features which will allow us to go to different pages within the text. We can increase the size of the font or decrease the size of the font to our needs. And we can also adjust the background color and text size on the fly with predetermined preferences that are built into the program. Again, this is one of many programs that are available out there for individuals that have difficulty reading and comprehending, and this is just one example. And I encourage you to look at features that programs like Read Out Loud and others have that can be utilized to address issues and barriers. Thank you.